He may be only 10 years old and he might not have a college degree just yet. But once you try his cookies, you'll definitely want to take a class in his kitchen. Today, we're joined by my friend Aiden Darby, or otherwise known as the Cookie Professor. How are you, Aiden?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you so much. And I'm really excited to take a bite into one of these delicious cookies that I know you love to make. But first, as the Cookie Professor, I'm going to ask you, how did you get started in baking?
I got started in baking. I was like around 5, I want to say. Me and my mom just made cookies together, and then we gave them to my auntie, and she said, "You're really good at making cookies," and she said, "You should start a business." And we thought about it. We kept making cookies to find the perfect recipes, and here we are now.
And here you are now, right here on Studio 10 as the Cookie Professor. So talk about how you found the perfect recipe. I know we don't want to give it away, but what did you learn throughout that whole process?
I learned that if I want to make cookies, I can't get mad if somebody says, I don't like these.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't get mad about it.
Absolutely. Everybody's got a different sweet tooth, and sometimes people may like it, and sometimes people don't. But hey, sometimes even when we get good feedback, some constructive criticism, it just helps us make the recipe a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the different types of cookies that we have here. What are some of the ones that you like to make?
My favorite cookie is definitely chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip, okay. Now what about this one? I see this looks like a sugar cookie we have here as well, right?
Yep.
I love that. And look, you even put the ingredients on the back just to make sure whether or not somebody has any allergies or things like that too?
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, Aiden, I have to say, you really blew me away when I found you online because you are going to the 5th grade. How do you find time to run a business, to make your cookies, to go to school, do your homework? How do you do it all?
In school, I usually just mostly try to think about school, not anything else. And my mom was confused when I told her this. I get rid of everything from my business, everything from home, and only focus on school. And when it's time to make cookies, get rid of everything from school and just worry about what I have to do then.
That's awesome. You know what that sounds like, Aiden?
What?
That sounds like discipline. And at 10 years old, it sounds like you mastered it, okay? Let me tell you, I'm in my late 20s, and I'm still working on trying to figure out how to be disciplined and focus, like you said, on school. When it's time to focus on school, focus on work when it's time to work. Let me tell you, you are ahead of your time, and I see why they call you the Cookie Professor. And speaking of at school, what do your classmates and your teachers and your friends say when they find out that you run your own business?
My teachers, a lot of my teachers said that I make really good cookies, and pretty much every month I had to make at least, I want to say, 5 dozen. 5 dozen?
Oh my goodness. And you sell them every time? That is awesome. High five. I love that. So this is the coolest thing, Aiden, and of course, if anyone else who's your age, they have a classmate or somebody else who's around the same age as you, if they want to start their own cookie business, what kind of piece of advice would you give to them?
You mean cookie business just in general?
Any kind of business in general at all.
I would tell them, make sure this is something you want to do. Don't force yourself to want to sell t-shirts, and what you really want to do is make food.
Yeah, that's right. And if your heart is in it, if your mind is in it, then everything else will come to you after that. So thank you so much for joining us. And if you don't mind, can I try one of these delicious chocolate chip cookies?
Yes, you may.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, this is Aiden Darby, the Cookie Professor. We have information on your screen as to how you can get your hands on one of these delicious cookies. But thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.